Recording now.
Hey guys, so we're gonna just be going over social media, the basics. So we're going back to the real basics at this point. We're gonna have a lot of questions at the end, hopefully. We're gonna go over a lot of strategy, how to get content, how to really plan your information out. And then if we have enough time, hopefully at the end, what we'll do is we'll actually open up Facebook on the computer, on my computer, and I'm gonna show you some tricks. So that's today's lesson. I'm gonna go right here. So I'm Holly. I'm the founder of Creative Solutions. It's a new market-based company, as you are part of the chamber as well. We basically do a lot of strategy, business strategy, marketing strategy, sales strategy, operations, and all of that. And then we have a fulfillment division, which is website design development, graphic design, and what I specialize in is social media management. So what we're talking about today is all based on my experience over the last 6 years and my overall experience the last 25 years in the marketing industry. If you want to take pictures or screenshots, your thing, just make sure I look good. If you want to tag New Market Chamber and Creative Solutions on social media, this is what you would do. So you can take a picture of this as well. If you want to, at the very end, what's going to happen is Tyler's going to send around the slides as well as the actual video presentation. So you guys, if you want to take notes furiously, go right ahead, but you will get this at the end. So if you miss something or if you're not really sure, you can ask at the end for questions, or you can watch the video again. So all questions at the end. There are no stupid questions at all. Literally, if you have no idea, you can have to open up Facebook. Cool, no problem. We'll talk about that at the end after we cover everything. Views are mostly my own. Like I said, it's mostly my experience. So there's lots of different opinions out there, and that's okay. It's awesome. We're just going to go over the basics for today. So planning your information out. First thing you have to think about is, who's my target audience? So you actually want to write that down. Hopefully all of you guys have a list of your, let's say, either target market or personas, and your target market should be written out in a way that is similar to this. So you have either a gender, lifestyle, interest, location, age. It kind of depends on how you'd like to break them out. And then what happens if you want to create personas around that? That's a totally different ballgame that gets into motivators, goals, where they're influenced, personality traits. It goes a little bit deeper into that. So I would recommend doing more of a target market first. And then if you want to look at persona investigation, I would probably just Google it and find out how you do that. But target market is number one. So this really will allow you to be able to understand how your content strategy works. So how is your voice and your content going to allow them to understand who you are and what your business stands for? So once they see your content, they'll know that they're in the right spot. What are your social media goals? Okay, I'm going to stop here for a second because a lot of people think that social media goals should be your business goals. And it's actually not the way it works. So what you want to do is you want to have overall business goals. So you set your goals. So I want to make $10,000 a month, or I want to help serve this many people. I want to financially live well for the rest of my life. Whatever those goals are that you're going to set for you and your business is the top level. Then the level down is, what are my sales and marketing goals to reach those business goals? Okay, so your sales and marketing goals have different tactics. So once you've set your goals, you start thinking, okay, how can I market to my target market now? Where are they influenced? Where do they live? What do they do? Then you start to look at other ways that you can market. So those types of platforms or let's say silos or ways that you can market, one could be sending out a mailer, one could be direct calling, one could be strategic partnerships. It could be doing an ad in a newspaper. It could be making sure that you're part of the chamber, for instance, and you actually have your listed information on the directory. Then what you start to see is social media could be one of those ways to reach your target market. And if your people are on social, you should be there too. If they're not, maybe it's not the best place for you. Don't leave the seminar though, just in case. So if you've decided social media is one of those platforms that you'd like to market yourself and to reach your audience, then you set social media goals, which are totally different than business goals and totally different than your marketing goals. Social media goals typically are stuff like build brand awareness, increase customer service, build and manage an engaged community, increase web traffic, manage brand reputation. These kind of things are what social media is really used for. And a lot of people get it a little bit confused, like I said, with their overall business goals. So if I asked you 10 minutes ago what your social media goals are, a lot of people would say, I want to make $10,000 a month or so on. And when we start to look at that, now that it's broken down, I hope you guys have a little bit of a clearer idea how to set social media goals. We won't go over the ROI and how to track it and all of that, because that's more of an advanced level, but this is the basic. Set some goals and let's get going on it. So now you want to find your voice, your tone, and your vibe. This actually could be different for your business as it is from you personally. So even if you're the face of the business, and let's say you're a chiropractor and you are the business, let's look at the other people that work with you and for you. There's, you have administrators, you have other people maybe in your clinic or agency, and you want to look at the overall business tone and voice. If you are the face and you want your business to also have the same tone and voice as you are, then that's fine. But look to see if you have to differentiate it. So this is your brand's personality. So your brand now has this personality. If you think about, let's say, Tim Hortons and Starbucks, or Tim Hortons and Second Cup, or Timothy's, or any other coffee place, they sell one thing, it's coffee, right? So they have other things that they sell, but their main thing is coffee. Why are they so different? It's because they've created a brand personality behind the brand. It's the identity. So if you think of Tim Hortons, you think about quick, easy, drive-through, cheap, probably not the best coffee ever. Super friendly, let's get it over with, go, go, go. Very transactional. Whereas Starbucks, you think about treat yourself, right? So you're like, I'm going to spend $6 on this fancy coffee that I can't pronounce. And it's the way that I want to treat myself. Whereas Tim Hortons, it's no brainer. You just go, you pay your $2 and you keep going every day. Starbucks is a little different. So why are they different? It's because they've created a brand personality and tone behind it in order to market themselves to a specific audience. So you want to be able to do the same thing. So once you've figured out what that brand personality is, you can write objectives towards it. You can actually describe it in a document, and that becomes your guide. So anyone that you really have brought on board, let's say you've hired somebody to do social media for you, or graphic design, or website development, for instance, or even administrator, or someone that's joining your company, they have to understand also what your tone and voice and the personality of the brand is as well. So once you have that written down, that will be shared with more people, and everyone can be on the same page. That will then dictate what type of content you'll put out there, and the look and feel of your content as well, what words you'll use, what colors you'll use, and how you're going to present it. So one thing that I say is write like you talk. So on social media, if you're going to be pretty chill and you say things like dude a lot, like myself, for instance, and that's the tone and brand of my business as well, we'll say bro, dude, cool, what's up, it's more of a relaxed atmosphere. So if my social media says welcome, thank you so much for attending, but it doesn't fit, right? So write like you talk. If it's the brand personality of what you've decided, right, make sure that the content sounds like that as well. They know what to expect when they meet you in person, or if they've dealt with your brand as well. Right from the reader's perspective, what do they want? What are they interested in? What a lot of people do is they talk about what they have to offer. So I'm a business owner, I have these things to sell, and I know you want it, so just buy it, right? What about your competition? There's tons of people out there that offer the same stuff as you. Like I said, coffee. right? So Tim Hortons and Starbucks, which one are you? You could be a mixture of both at any given time, but you want to really lead people down that road of what you want them to think about or what you want them to perceive. So right from their perspective, what are their needs? What are they motivated by? What are they interested in? It doesn't have to be just the stuff that you sell. It could be other things. So if you have, let's say, a chiropractic office, for instance, and you know that you mostly deal with athletes or people that have put their bodies through a lot of work. If that is the case, maybe you start to talk about some educational pieces around sports therapy or just sports in general, or working at home as an athlete, you know, what our bodies go through. There's so many different ideas that you can post about rather than just what you have to offer. So we'll go over those as well. First thing is to be seen. I'm going to skip that one. So basically your customers want to trust you. The content you're posting on a regular basis, they're engaging with it, they're excited about it. The more likely you are, the more likely they are to click on your post and interact with you online. They realize that you're a real person behind the business, or the real people behind the business. And guess what? They're real people too. So human to human interaction. It's no longer, to me, B2B or B2C, business to business or business to consumer. It's H to H, it's human to human. And yes, that happens to be my initials, which I'm totally going to trademark this after this call, so don't do it. Human to human interaction. Think about it that way. It's no longer business to business or business to consumer. So if you're talking to a person, what do you say? You want to post a mix of content. You walk into a networking event. I'll give you a scenario. Let's say you walk into a networking event and you walk up to someone and says, "Hi, I'm Holly. I sell websites. Do you want to buy one?" Okay, now we wouldn't do that in person. Why are we doing this online, right? So you want to post a mix of content just like you would in person. So you're going to have probably a conversation. You're going to start a conversation. You're going to probably be helpful and useful and have an engaging conversation. So that's what we want to do online. Let's choose these 3 E's. You want to post things that are entertaining, educational, and engaging. Once you've covered those off, like I said, you guys can take pictures and things, and you will get these slides afterwards as well as the video. So don't feel like you're going to miss out on anything specifically. So entertaining, educational, and engaging. Now you're allowed to sell. And put yourself in that scenario of the networking event. You've really had a good conversation with someone, and then they're like, "Sorry, what do you even do? I love you. You're amazing. This is great. I've had a great conversation with you. You must be very knowledgeable. What do you sell?" And then you can say back to them the types of stuff that you can help people with. Types of content you can post are things like memes, contests, polls, engaging questions, inspirational quotes, a lot of reposts as well. There's tons of stuff you can do, images, videos, GIFs. Those are like the sort of types. And then the things that you can do, like how-tos, contests, all that kind of stuff. So user-generated content is a big one, if you have, especially if you have a product. If you have a product, you want to encourage your users or the people that bought from you, how they can actually take pictures of themselves using the product or opening the product to then tag you in on social media, or they can send you the images for you to also post. So that's a really good way to get user-generated content that you don't have to create yourself. Here are a bunch of tools when you're actually planning out your content. This is one that we use the most. I literally hear this every day. "I have no idea what to post on social media." I'm like, yeah, okay, let's take it back for a second. And you start to go through the steps of what's your goal, who's your target market, what would they want to see? Then you start to look at the 3 E's. So you can either just choose one of the 3 E's, that way you have 3 days covered. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you choose an E, right? And then on the weekend you can sell, or you can switch it all around. So that's one really basic way to just start. This is another really basic way to start. So Monday through Sunday, there's a whole bunch of popular hashtags. And hashtags are literally just words or phrases or keywords that are smushed together that have a number sign in front of it that now become hyperlinked. So on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook specifically, and LinkedIn actually, if you use these kind of keywords that get swished together that have the number sign in front of it all together, now they've actually become hyperlinked. So you can click on those now. It's only if it has the number sign in front of it. You can click on those in any post that you see it in, or if you've used a hashtag as well on your post, when you click on it, it shows you everyone else's post that actually has used that particular hashtag. So the benefit to that is you get to see your competition and you get to see people that you could possibly target. So when it comes down to you choosing what kind of hashtags that you use, it will be a research thing. So you have to do your research, and you can research that on Instagram based on your competition, or Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn. But a way to like come up with content would be to look at what those popular hashtags are. So let's say you go, I have no idea what to post. I'm going to go to this one particular sheet from Hollie's presentation, and I'm going to look to see, okay, Mindset Monday or Motivational Monday. Actually, yeah, I could probably post something around that. That's a more of an entertaining thing, I think. So you can create an image in Canva. Canva is a really good tool, which is one of my tools that's going to be in the toolbox at the end. And you can create, or you can repost, but ask for permission first. Never, ever, ever just Google quotes and then choose one that's online, because that's a copyright infringement issue. And you never want to take content that you just find on Google. If there's something that's posted on social media, you'll ask that person, this is amazing, can I please share this with my audience? I'll make sure to tag you as well. So you're giving them recognition. Now, you can't guarantee that they didn't steal it from Google, so just watch that, okay? But I'd create your own content, or there's other ways that you can get content too. So Tips Tuesday is a fantastic one for Tuesday. There's also Tech Tuesday, Tasty Tuesday. There's a million of them out there. If you want to add more things to this list, for instance, just Google top hashtags for each day. And there's lots and lots of different resources out there that give you a huge list of different ones. So Feature Friday is one of our favorites. So we actually feature clients, and every Friday we feature a new client, which has been really great. Like, people are like, oh wow, I didn't realize that you did that, or they have the exact same issue as I did. Maybe this is someone I should call now. So it does have that familiarity, and it does showcase that you are working, and you do have clients at the time or customers. Throwback Thursday is another one, Self-Care Sunday, there's tons of them. So use this as a guide if you're trying to come up with ideas for content. There's a couple other things that you can do. I'm going to skip a couple of these. Best times to post. So I'm going to go back to that. So this one here is a blog that our team has written, that when they're trying to come up with content for our clients, for instance, they do certain steps. And it's weird because it all comes out to the same ideas. They've actually created great content based on their experience and what the clients require, but they all have a totally different creation process. And so I encourage you to actually read this blog, because they've taken time to write down their exact process of how they gather content, how they think of content, how they put it together, like through Canva or any other apps. It's actually a great blog because it's not just my point of view. It's literally, I just asked all of our team members, what would you guys do? How do you guys get content? And I was actually surprised that it was so different. So maybe one of these guys will actually resonate with you more and less of like what I would tell you to do. So read that and see if that helps you with getting your content together. I'm going to go back to this one. So when to post. That's sort of how you get your content together. And one of the things to be seen is to post at certain times, is what the internet tells us. So to me, this one is, how do I say it? Not that important, because Facebook and Instagram both have algorithms. What that means is if you don't post often, you go to the bottom of the algorithm, it doesn't show your posts as much. If you're not very interactive, if your accounts are sort of stagnant, you just don't, no one sees your posts as often. So Instagram and Facebook, that algorithm, it tells you that the most popular times on social media to post are between 1 to 2 posts a day on Facebook, between 1 and 4 o'clock. Instagram says 1 to 2 posts a day between 5 and 6 p.m. That to me shows us that that's when the majority of the internet is on these particular platforms. Now, if everyone's posting at the same time before the algorithm, they'd be inundated with actual posts of people that they're following. Now, this in particular, to me, doesn't really work that well because the algorithm really, there's so many factors that it really, you can't, I'm not going to ever see your post at 5 o'clock on Instagram if you post at 5 o'clock. It doesn't work that way anymore. So I would do some tests. I would maybe post 1 week all at 5 o'clock on Instagram, for instance. The next week all at 10 a.m. And then you can check your analytics based on a business account. So Facebook has 2 different types of accounts that you can have. One is a personal page, and the way that you can tell if it's a personal page is if it says add as a friend. So if you're using your personal page as your business page, I know a lot of like service providers or realtors do that. And Facebook can't make money off you like that. So they have been shutting pages down that are using their personal as business. So I'd highly recommend that you have a business page, so a company page. It's very easy to set up. And then you post to that. If you want to share to your personal from there, that's fine. I'll show you guys how to do that. But you really do want to have that business page. And the way that you can tell that one is if it says like at the top. So I can either like the page, the business page, and follow what you're doing for your business, or I can add you as a friend and look what you're doing as my friend. And that's really the only 2 options for that. Instagram, on the other hand, you can have your business page and a personal page as well, and you use them very much the same. I have a personal page. I don't really share a lot with everybody, and I only usually have friends on there. And then I have the business account. So the business account is where I would post to as a business, and that's where everybody that would like that page find my content. So all of this stuff is for business pages. And like I said, the algorithm, you kind of really can't tell, but do some testing and post for about 3 months and check your analytics. The business pages have analytics, which is fantastic. Now, you want to be found. Hopefully I'm not losing anybody. I have a lot of information in here. I always inundate everybody with information, so hopefully you guys are still good. Breathe it out, walk it out if you have to. Have you ever heard the famous saying, post it and they will come? Probably not, because it's not true. Usually what happens is a lot of people will post on social media, even if they're posting on a regular basis, and they'll say, well, social media doesn't work for me. No one's really finding my content. No one's really liking my stuff. I'm not getting any followers. What's going on? I keep posting and nothing's happening. Right, so let's pretend like you're going to a networking event again. This is my favorite thing. You go to a networking event and you have a whole bunch of business cards. Okay, you have a whole bunch of business cards. And that's not a prop, they just happen to be there. You take all those business cards of yourself and you throw them into the audience. And you're like, call me, like my things, let's be friends. So some people might pick it up off the floor or catch it in midair, similar to posts. Some people might see your post. Some people might find it based on a hashtag. But if you go up to people in a networking situation and you shake hands and you say hello and you start to actually like talk to people, that is what social media is used for. Okay, so the social part in social media is the most important part. The content will attract the right people when they find it. And if you've done your job doing the community management, the outreach part, which we'll talk about. So we gone over what hashtags are. If you're using hashtags specifically on Instagram or Twitter, best case scenario, you can have up to 30 hashtags on Instagram, and I wouldn't use all of them. I would use between maybe 5 to 15 if you can, and you can do the research as well. Facebook, I would just use a couple if you want to have like as an extra point. All words are searchable on Facebook, so you don't necessarily need to have a hashtag. Whereas Instagram and Twitter, you need to have a hashtag in order to be searched for that particular keyword. Geotags. So a lot of people actually don't know that you can do this on Instagram. So Instagram posts with geotags get almost 80% more engagement from organic social media tactics. That's a huge number. And really all it is, when you go to post something on Instagram, you'll see under your name, see my little message there? It says the link. That's an actual place. So if you have a business that has an actual physical location, if you have that location on Google and Facebook or Facebook as your actual address, it'll come up on Instagram. So when that says add location, when you click on it, when you're creating a new post or you're editing a post, you start typing in your location. It'll pop up and then you can choose it. You can also do things like York Region or the Newmarket Chamber, because they have a physical address. You could do Newmarket, or you could do East Gwillimbury. So all of those geotags are actually searchable as well. So let's say that you wanted to find more people in your geographic neighborhood. You can actually do a search for an area. So let's say you're on Instagram, you have already put in here for yourself Newmarket, and that now becomes hyperlinked. So you can click on that now. So the word, the link, I would click on. Let's pretend it's the word Newmarket. So when you click on Newmarket, you will see everybody that has posted and did a geotag of Newmarket. So imagine now that kind of pretends like you're in a networking situation, and all of these people you know have used that post in Newmarket. You've posted in Newmarket. So what a better way to actually have a conversation starting. So you can actually start talking to them. You can like their post, you can comment on their post, you can send them a direct message if you'd like. Facebook's a little different with this, but Instagram is a good tool that you can do that. So we're going to skip over to community management. This is that proactive stuff I was telling you about. So you can do a hashtag search on Instagram specifically. You can do a geotag search on Instagram as well. And then you can start talking to those people by liking and commenting and sending them a direct message. So anyone that has a public account, you can chat with. Some of them are businesses and some of them are real people. Remember, there's real people behind the businesses as well. So they've never heard of you before. They've never known you existed. They've never searched on social media for you, but you're reaching out to them now. You've walked up to them in a networking situation and said, hi, I'm Holly, how's it going? Come back and check my page out. Just want to like, well, hello, that's all. So they might go to your page and go, holy crap, I had no idea that this person existed in this area. This is exactly what I needed. Best case scenario, right? It's not everybody. But that's how you build more eyeballs and more people around your brand, is to actually just showcase, hey, I'm here. What's up? You didn't know about me, now you do. Let's start friendship. Let's start talking. So unless you do that, it never really happens. If you post it, they won't come. You'll get a few people, little stragglers. But if you do this proactive sort of side of it, this is when you have more eyeballs. On Facebook, you can't, from a business page, talk to other consumers, whereas on Instagram you can. On Facebook, the only options that you have without paying for ads is taking your posts on your business page and sharing it to groups, okay? Or you can take your personal page and talk to other people, but if you start selling, it becomes a little no-no, right? You don't really want to do that. And same with LinkedIn. LinkedIn does not want to be sold to at all. So real human connection on LinkedIn, especially for strategic partnerships, huge. And especially if you're, you have a strategic partnership and you're going to share forces and start targeting the same people and offering similar services. So community management is really that thing that helps you get more eyeballs and more people to your pages. Really, it is be proactive. So if you're going to post it and hopefully they'll come, you're missing a huge opportunity with social media. You're missing the social part. And the way that this happens is you want to respond to people that are actually commenting on your posts. So you're being that customer service, you're being that proactive person saying, hey, thanks for commenting. Let's have a conversation at some point. You can go reciprocate as well by liking their posts or proactively looking at the geotag searches and hashtag searches and liking people's posts that are in your target market. And I said you can comment on them and just make sure that you're actually being a person. So never pay for an automation service, especially on Instagram. They do not like that, and your account can get shut down for sure if you're using third-party apps. Take some time. You know, I can send you guys, if you guys, I have this link that you can put your email address in, and I can send you this community management book that has, it's like a playbook that has a checklist at the back of exactly what to do on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly, and quarterly to get way more followers and more interactions so you can make more connections. This is how you're heard now. So you're found, you're seen, and now you want to be heard. So you want to be memorable, you want to stand for something. So what does your business stand for? You want to solidify your brand tone and your voice and what your value proposition is. You want to showcase that. Social media is not a one-way street. It's not an advertising platform. If you want to do that, pay for ads. Social media is social. You want to be the solution, and you want to just make sure that people know that you're that solution. And it's really a conversation starter. So I call Instagram a cold calling tool because the way that you use it is not just, like I said, post, and then you'll just all of a sudden get 10 clients. You want to use it as a two-way street, and it's a fantastic cold calling tool because you can send a direct message to anybody that has a public account. Anybody, literally, like Oprah, like anybody. So if you want to be seen in the media, for instance, there's tons of editors online, on Instagram specifically, and Twitter actually. You can just send them a direct message on Instagram and say, hey, I'm actually have this great story. Would that be something you guys would be interested in pitching? You can talk to strategic partners, you can find clients, all that through human connection. Here's a bit of a toolbox. So the ones that are blue, they're all hyperlinked out, so you can actually click on them and check them out. One of the ones that are the most important to us is, I'd say, Quora, Medium, and Reddit when it comes to generating your own content. So if you're looking for ideas, those three platforms are forums. So a lot of people ask questions there, and all kinds of questions all over the place. So if you type in the keywords that you stand for, so let's say social media or Instagram or website, I can actually search those keywords and find the questions that people are asking. 99% of the time, you know the answer. So if people are asking, especially if there's multiple people asking, you now know that this is a really great topic to start talking about on social media. You could write a blog about it. You could do a video about it. You could also just do a post on social media for that. And it's a really good listening tool. Scheduling your posts, if you want to just not do this every single day and you want to create a whole bunch of posts, but you don't want to post them all the same day, you can spread them out by using, one is actually Facebook has its own scheduler. Hootsuite and Buffer are the most popular ones. They're fairly easy to use. I believe Hootsuite's free if you have less than 3 platforms or less. Later is a really good one that I've heard about as well. We've tried them all. I'm not a really huge fan of all of them. I like only Pulse, but it's a paid one for Instagram, and I use Plannable for our clients. But Hootsuite and Buffer, they're pretty decent. It's definitely great to start with. I'm not going to go to manage and analyze because this is a more of an advanced type. But one thing that I would highly recommend, I should have stake in a friggin' company because I talk about it so much, is Canva. I'm obsessed with Canva. I am not a graphic designer, but I have really great graphic ideas. Canva preps you for that anyway. So if you ever want to create like any sort of post, Canva, you can do that. You can create video, it can create like an animated post, testimonial, thing, like cover images for your blog posts. Like, it's awesome. Canva, highly recommend, should have a stake in it. Great resource for free stock photos. The one that we use pretty much every day is Unsplash. We also use Pixabay a lot, and Pexels. These are all hyperlinked out as well. So most of these are free. Some of them, you kind of get tricked into clicking on some of the things that are ads. It looks like they're the pictures, but they're actually ads for like other stock photo places. Just avoid those. Unsplash is phenomenal. Definitely highly recommend it. We use it a lot. And actually this one came from Unsplash as well. Actually, most of these pictures did. So I want to just remind you guys that content is fire and social media is gasoline. So you have the content, but what do you do with it? Social media is really just that amplifier to get your message out and to really start that conversation. So I want you guys to prepare yourself. If you guys have any questions, I will look in the chat to see if anyone has done that. I want to open up for questions right now, and then I want to show you guys the Facebook thing I was talking about, just a couple little tips on Facebook. So I'm going to bring you guys back over here. And if you want to come on audio, fine. If you want to come on video, that's fine too. Just going to open it up if you have any further questions, and then I'm going to move the Facebook over as well. Any questions on your guys' side? There's a lot of information, I know, and it is like the 101, but it's like the 101/102 version, because I want you guys to really understand how social media can be utilized, instead of taking it way back to like, this is how you create a post, which I think most of you guys know. And if you don't, I'm more than happy to show you guys that as well. Any questions at all? All right, so I'm gonna go into the Facebook. I wanna show you guys a couple tips on Facebook. And I do have one question in the chat, I think maybe, let me just double check. Yes, I will share my contact information. Tyler will send it around in the document. So you guys will be able to, I'll send a link to the playbook as well, so you guys can download that, which I have to remember, so Tyler remind me. Any other questions in here? All right, cool. So let me get into Facebook for a second. I want to show you guys some stuff. So Facebook, to me, is the most intuitive platform. Like I said, I really would like you guys to have a business page, and there's some little spots in here that you can do. So when you set up your business page, there's one spot that I want you to go to and click on in the settings. Have you ever posted on Facebook or changed this image up here, or changed this image, or updated your phone number, and it automatically posts in the timeline? That irritates a lot of people. So when you first change this, or change the top image, or change anything under your settings, it'll post right to your timeline. You're like, I didn't want anyone to see that in my timeline. So I'll show you one small thing to do in your settings. And I use Facebook on my computer mostly, but if you're going to use Facebook on your phone, I want to show you that you should have, let's say, 2 apps on your phone. Can everybody see my face and my phone as well as the, so I'm holding my phone up to the screen. In the middle, there's the regular Facebook app. And then on the side, there's a little flag. That's actually Facebook Pages Manager. And no one knows that you need another Facebook app to use Facebook on your phone. So most of the time what happens is people will comment on your post. My screen is not changing, me or you. There's two, on Zoom, there's 2 tabs at the bottom. And one is going to show the big screen, and one's going to show all the different attendees. So if you go to the bottom and hover over Zoom, you'll see the 2 or 3 different tabs depending. So Facebook Pages Manager is one that you actually want to download. So if someone comments on your post, on your page, 9 times out of 10, when you go to regular Facebook on your phone and you go to comment back, it comments as you. And if you want to comment as the page instead, it actually should be done through Pages Manager. And if you have both apps on your phone, when you're in regular Facebook and you get notification, as soon as you click on someone commented on your business page post, that automatically brings you to the Pages Manager. So I want to show you this one thing to change when you're on Facebook so it doesn't post when you're changing any of your stuff. So if you go to settings and then you go to, I'm going to get closer here, blah, blah, blah. I literally just did this. So it is not page info, it's under general. This is where Facebook takes forever. Okay, so back to general. You want to fill all this stuff out in page info as well. And then there's one little, your screen is not sharing. Can you guys still see my Facebook screen?
No, it's just the Q&A time screen. Okay. There we go.
Got it?
That's better.
Okay. Yeah, when the sharing options, you can choose the screen itself or each of the components of the screen. So I chose the component of the Q&A first, and now this one. Okay. So where everyone sees Facebook now, I'm hoping is, excuse me. So see right here where it says page updates. Hopefully everybody sees that. So page updates, edit. I always unclick this. Whenever we take on a new client, this is the very first thing I start with. As I go straight to Facebook, I unclick this button because it automatically gets clicked. And so once you update your cover image or your logo or your phone number or any other information, it automatically publishes to your timeline, which is actually quite irritating when someone's looking and they're like, cool, you updated your phone number, I don't care. And so they just want to see your posts in your timeline. So unclick that and then save changes. So that's step number 1. One other thing on Facebook that you can do is go very slowly back to the page. Holy. Tyler, internet things, eh? Tyler knows my internet problem.
That's why I have my video off, because mine, I got kicked out actually. I'm lucky I brought Leslie in to be a secondary host here, because it actually kicked me out. That's how bad my internet is right now.
Oh, hopefully it's still recorded then.
It says it's still recording.
Yeah, it says it's still recording, so it should be okay.
Cool. All right, cool. So this is where you can create a post, right? So everybody has created posts here. You can schedule it. So once you start creating your post, you can post it. Oh, here we go. You can video, an actual photo, you can check in, and do all these little things here. So normally, if you have a really, really, really good post and you're like, man, I don't have a lot of followers on this page, I want more people to be here. Let's say that you have an email database and you want everyone to come back and like this particular post. So like I said, the more activity your page has, the more Facebook likes you and the more Facebook will show your post to people that are actually following you. So if you want to, let's say, share this particular post, let's say it's a really great blog, or this one here, for instance. So the way that you get the URL for this one particular post is that you click on the date and time. Okay, so what'll happen is if I click on that, it'll pop up and see, watch the URL change. So now I can send that to people. I can send it to them in direct message. I can send them to them in carrier pigeon. I can send it to them in email newsletter. Whatever way you want to send it to them, you're going to say to them, I want you, I beg you, please come back to this post, comment on it. It's really important to me. I know you're not following my page yet, but please come back and check this post out. They'll like it and they'll comment on it. And it's that URL is bringing them to just that one post now. So that's one small way that you can actually get more activity on your page. The next way, after they've done that, or let's say you run an ad, there is this thing right here. So let's say that this was a post that you sent out to everybody. They all came back here and they liked it. This shows to me that 8 people have liked this post. I can click on that number and see all the people that liked it. 99.9% of the time, once you have sent that post out to people and they've actually liked it, this here will have a whole bunch of buttons that say invite. So see, this one says invited, these ones say liked. So that means that these people already like my page. This person and this person didn't necessarily like my page yet. They like my post. So if you want to get more people to like your page, there's going to be something here, invite. And you're going to click on that button and you're going to invite them to like your page. Can anyone else also hear that really loud noise that is coming from outside? Good stuff. Because it's like a, I don't even know, a lawnmower or something. All right, so that is one way to get way more people to like your page organically without paying for ads. So I highly recommend sending out that one post to get more people to come back to here and like it, and then you invite them to like your page. Okay. The other thing that you can do is that you can share this post. Why right now? Okay. You have options. You can share it in a group. So that means that you personally have joined groups, or they've allowed your business page to also join the group. So you can share in a group. See how it says, do you want to share by Creative Solutions? I can start typing in groups that Creative Solutions has joined. What's up, New Market? Came up. I can say, hey guys, check this out, blah, 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 and then post it in that group as my business page. Now that's more people in those groups that are real people that now know that your business exists. So you can share as your business page in some groups. You also can share as you personally as well. I'm just gonna get out of that. You can share to a page. So let's say this, you manage 2 or 3 different pages, and you can share to those pages, and you can share personally. So share in a group, share, and go back personally, and share an event. So that's sort of how you can get more Facebook traffic. It's very difficult to get Facebook traffic for sure, and anyone that uses Facebook to post knows that. If you have a very loyal following and they are always on your Facebook page, that's great. There's not a lot of people that do though. So Instagram, on the other hand, I'll teach you a couple small things on Instagram. I'm not able to share my phone screen, but I'll go here. Instagram is really crappy to use on your computer. It's actually quite good. I'm going to make sure that you guys can anyone see the Instagram tab now? Or just still Facebook? So Instagram, thumbs up?
Yep, you can see it.
Okay, awesome. So on your computer version, there's not a lot that you can do. What you can do is you can check your direct messages. Okay, so you can actually check your direct messages here. You can message them back. You can search. So remember that searching for hashtags. So let's search for a new market. And of course, the chamber comes up first because we talk to them all the time. You can search all these different people. What's not great for it is searching for hashtags or geotags. You can edit your profile and things like that from here, but you can't do too much. One fun thing though that I want to show you on Instagram is something that we do. So as you can see, that's me, that's a video. What we do for every single new follower that's a real person, like we'll delete the ones that aren't, we actually send a video direct message to them. And remember I was saying about the H to H, human to human? This to us has converted into what we wanted to have is a conversation. It is converted into a conversation 90% more effective than when we used to send a typed out message. That's a huge number. So for us, we started with just typing, hey, thanks for following. It looks like spam. It looks like an automated message. If you've recorded yourself on your phone and you have it saved to your camera roll, every new follower, you just upload that to them. So you can upload it here basically. On your phone, it might look a little different. So you upload it, you send them a nice welcome message. This one just says something like, thank you so much for following. We want to know, like, what's your #1 goal for this year? It could be personal, it could be business, but just let us know, because if you never tell anybody, it's never going to come true, kind of thing. So that type of message, we get majority of people actually responding back. This person hasn't seen it yet. The way that I can tell that is because it'll say the word seen underneath. Oh, wrong guy. See that word seen? Another huge tool, because now you know that they've watched it. This is something you could actually follow up with. So, hey, I know I don't know if you saw my last message, but I just want to make sure. I'd really love to know what your #1 goal is for this year. So it's a great communication tool to actually become human and to show face. One person had responded back with a voice note saying, I have never seen anybody send a video. This is super cool, and it made me actually know who you guys are as a brand. So it's a great way to actually humanize your brand more than just sending a direct message, or more than just not doing anything at all. Another benefit is that you can check anyone that's commented. So you want to make sure that you're actually responding back, liking it, responding, having a conversation with them. And the more, like I said, you can humanize, the better. Right? So there is an Instagram workshop. I believe, I have to check. I think the Newmarket Chamber might have it on their YouTube channel, but I did do one not too long ago, and it was all about Instagram and digging deeper into Instagram, and it goes over posts, what to post, how to post, all that. These little highlights as well, how to create highlights and what they even are. How to create stories. So lots of different ways that you can create stories and what types of stuff that you can use them for. It has IGTV there as well. So I know I'm saying probably lots of stuff that you're just like, huh? This is all new to me. Linktree is a really great tool. Like normally this just has your website here. When you go to edit your profile, this is normally your website. When you click on that, it actually opens up to multiple call to actions now. So this is a tool that is phenomenal for having way more opportunities for people to find what you want to talk about. So now when you go back to your post, this could be a blog, let's say, and you could say, see the link in the bio. And it's not just your website. They're not just going to go to your homepage and they're going to freak out because they can't find anything. They can't find the blog that they want it to go to. So instead now you can have it say, Favicon blog, check it out. So now it gives you more opportunities, and it's called Linktree. And it's free. It's fantastic. You can edit it every day of the week if you'd like. So that's a really good tool. One other thing I'm going to mention to you guys for Instagram is, one thing that kind of irritates me when I see a business following me on social, or they say, come check us out. I have no idea most of the time where in the world they are, because this is a worldwide platform. So unless you put Newmarket or York Region or something to do with where your area is, if you're only servicing that specific area, make sure that you write that in your bio somewhere. You really should know that it's for them. You could be in Florida, they don't have a clue. So if it's an online program thing or an online service that you're providing or a product, then it might not matter. If you could just say worldwide, delivers worldwide. But make sure you write something in your bio for Instagram. It's quite, you'll see a big difference of people actually being able to contact you and having a business page. The business page is a good one, so make sure you check your settings. The way that you can tell is if you have on your business page, it'll say contact, like email us, call us, that kind of thing. If you don't have those options, you probably still have a personal page. So just find out how you convert from personal to a business page on Instagram. You can just Google that or reach out to me as well. So that is the end of my presentation. And I'm going to stop sharing. Oh. Okay, cool. So I stopped sharing. We're back to normal. And do you guys have any other further questions? We only have a few minutes left. There was a lot of information. I know you guys are possibly overwhelmed and need a nap. So you're all on still mute. So if you guys have any questions, just come off mute. I see Ted has his hand up. So Ted, you want to come off mute and ask away?
Yeah, thanks very much for the intro to social media. I'm just trying to understand the difference because I've actually got a business and a personal Facebook page.
Yeah.
But yet you talk about something having a business page within a personal. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, your personal page has to be there for you to open up a business page. So your personal page, if you see it as, you know, these are just my friends. These are the actual people that I talk to on a daily basis, people that I went to school with years ago. Those are who you want to be friends with. But anyone that wants to be part of your business, you need to have a friends page in order to create a business page in the first place. And you manage your business page by logging into your personal page.
Okay, because so like I got like two totally separate Facebook things. Like one takes you over to the personal, one takes you over to the business.
Yeah.
But that's not the way it should go. Is that right?
Yeah, that is the way it should go. So when you log into Facebook on your computer, you're most likely always logging into your personal people come up, and then you would go to the left-hand side that says business, or you'd go to the top drop down that says your business page up there. And if it's not set up this way, I would highly recommend that anyone that has a different setup than that, then send it to me after and I'll look at it, because it really should be set up like that. And I wouldn't understand unless I saw it, how you might have it set up.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yeah, so if you want to email me after and show me, or we can do a screen share as well so I can see it.
Perfect, thanks.
Okay, thanks. George, did you have a question as well? I saw that you were chatting, but I wasn't sure if you, okay, cool. Any other questions? I see Leslie came back on video. Hi, Leslie, nice to see your face.
I spend much of the time being frozen, so awkwardly, so I don't usually bother anymore.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And I'm the one talking most of the time, all the time. So I get frozen in all kinds of strange. I'm usually like that a lot. Like it's horrible. Yeah. So if you guys are even too shy to come on camera or to ask questions as well, totally fine. You can always reach out to me after. I highly suggest it. Like I'm super, I just want to help. I just want to see if I can help. I love weird things that happen to people's social media that I'm able to fix. Some of the stuff I've had to fix is like there was one company that had six business pages and they couldn't figure out what happened. So I had to get them all merged and I had to go through this whole entire thing. So if there's any weird stuff you guys have going on for your social, if you have any follow-up questions or if you're too shy to ask, reach out, please. Just email me or find us on Instagram and ask any questions, and we'll be more than happy to help you out. Cool. Okay, so we have one other question. What's engagement mean on Facebook posts? So if you're looking at the analytics, it just means the amount of people that have clicked on it or liked or commented. That's the actual engagement, whereas like the visibility part is how many eyeballs possibly could have seen it based on the way what you've shared or how many people have liked or commented on it. So the engagement actually means they had to have done something to that post in order to get that number as well. So like I said, any other questions, we're gonna end it for today, but definitely follow up if you have it. And Tyler or Leslie will send out an email that has all of the links as well as the document and video for today. Tyler, do you want to add anything there?
Oh, don't, we also have a Zoom tomorrow at noon, and we're taking a look at Digital Main Street. So
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
MPP Christine Elliott will be joining us for a short update, and name escapes me for the other person. However, it's definitely worth checking out.
Agreed.
And what she said. Awesome, guys. We'll have an awesome day and we'll chat soon.
Terrific.
Thank you,
so much,
Holly.
Holly.
Okay, bye, guys.
Thank you, everyone.